My name is Yoko Okita, a 15-year-old junior high school student. Today, I'm going to talk about the mess that my crazy family have made. I'm from a single-parent family. My father has not been around as far as I can remember. I was living a happy life despite of that, until when I was in the second year of junior high school. One day, my mother suddenly told me she was going to get remarried. The new partner of hers had also got a daughter who was 2 years older than me. Suddenly, I had a stepfather and an older stepsister, which I had no complaints about. 1 year later, when I was in the third year of junior high school.
Why aren't you home yet?
Sorry, I've been studying in the library.
Oh, how come you didn't mention this?
I thought I told you before I left home.
No, you didn't. You must have misremembered.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyways, please come home now and prepare dinner.
What? I've already made dinner in advance and put it on the table.
Yes, but Shiomi says she's in the mood for some meat today.
She asked me to make shrimp gratin yesterday. I made it today.
Well, maybe she changed her mind. Listen, since that's what your sister wants now, you'd better come home quickly and cook some meat for her.
Okay, it'll take a little longer because I need to get groceries on the way back.
Huh? Shiomi says she's starving now.
But we don't have any meat in the fridge.
You're just useless.
From this conversation, it's clear that I was the one that's in charge of cooking in the family. Not only was I in charge of cooking, I also needed to do housework in general, including cleaning and laundry. The reason why I was doing all this at home is not because they want me to learn. My stepsister wouldn't participate at all. My mother and stepfather only asked me to do the chores. The reason was clear. My stepsister was considered good-looking by everyone. Because of her looks, even my mother started to favor her over me. I became the housemaid as day went on. Both my parents and stepsister started to make more and more unreasonable requests, to the point that it started to affect my school life. Naturally, my teacher started to have questions about my personal life.
Miss Okita, do you have a minute?
Yes? Do you want to talk to me about something?
Sorry to message you abruptly. There's something I've been concerned about.
Is it about me always coming to school late?
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. It's hard for me to get up in the morning.
Are you saying that's the only reason?
Yes, I'm very sorry about that.
You've never come to school late during the first and second years of junior high school. Somehow now you have trouble getting up in the morning? You also look exhausted every morning when you come to school recently. I was wondering what was going on.
Nothing. I just became more laid back.
That doesn't sound like what a real laid-back person would say.
My teacher, Yuno Akiyoshi, was very enthusiastic and popular with the students. That was why she was asking questions about my recent behaviors. She was right. It was not because I couldn't get up in the morning. It was because I need to make breakfast in the morning and prepare lunchbox for my sister. Sometimes I even had to do laundry and cleaning before heading to school. There would be times when I couldn't arrive at school on time. Living in a dysfunctional family like this, my relationship with my stepsister wasn't so great either.
Hey, you know the autumn coat in my closet? Can you iron it for me by the end of the day?
The end of today? I can't.
Huh? Why is that?
It's a weekday today. I'm still at school. Even if I come home immediately after school, I won't make it in time to do it.
Just leave early. There'd be enough time for you, wouldn't it?
Leaving school early is not something I can decide by myself.
Just say you've got period cramps, a cold or something. Use your brain.
I already used health-related excuses last week. You wanted me to buy something for you. Did you forget?
Is that so? Well, it should be fine. They're not going to look into it. Just make it in time, no matter what. I need to go see my boyfriend tonight.
My teacher already has her eyes on me from being late or leaving early from school. I'm also preparing for the exam this year.
I don't want to hear that. Just get it done. Otherwise, I will tell Dad and Mom.
Just like this, my stepsister treated me like her own servant. She will tell on me if I ever go against her, and I'd certainly be in deep trouble with my parents. My goal now was to leave home as soon as possible after graduating high school. With that in mind, I've been doing my best every day. However, even this little dream of mine was shattered. I have a parent-teacher conference tomorrow. Can you make it?
Oh, that's right. Do I have to go?
It's about my future academic path. It'd be great if you could come.
About your future. There's something I have to tell you.
What is it?
You should stop preparing for high school.
What?
Shiomi said the other day that she wants to go to an expensive private university. I must get you to work too in order to pay her tuition.
I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. My parents really wanted me to give up high school. Instead, I'd start working for the sake of my sister's tuition. This ill treatment made me burst into tears. I knew that I should leave this ridiculous home as soon as possible. But as a junior high school student, I knew I couldn't support myself. I thought about talking to my teacher about this, but I was afraid. The reason I was afraid is that in the first year of junior high school, I sought advice from my teacher at the time, Mr. Ishida, regarding my problems with my family. May I discuss something with you?
Sure, what happened?
Actually, my mother remarried. I have a stepfather and stepsister now.
That's right.
I don't really get along with them. Even my mother has started to treat me poorly.
Miss Okita, don't speak ill about your family.
But it's so unbearable. They're treating me like a housemaid.
I understand that you're confused about having a new family, but they're your family no matter what. You should have a good conversation with them. Your mother has raised you up. Don't talk about her like that.
I understand. I'm sorry. He didn't want to listen to me at all. That's why I think it'd be useless to talk to teachers. My mother didn't show up for the three-party conference the next day, so I ended up facing Miss Akiyoshi alone. I told her that I was going to get a job after graduating junior high school. However, I received this message from the teacher after the meeting.
Are you serious about what you said during the meeting?
Well, I don't feel like studying anymore. I thought maybe I should start working.
You're terrible at lying, Miss Okita.
It's not a lie.
Didn't you come to me many times and ask questions about the lessons? I also noticed that you've been studying in the library during lunch breaks, haven't you? I can't think of any reason why you'd suddenly start hating school so much that you want to start working.
It doesn't matter what the reason is, does it? I don't think it concerns you, Miss Akiyoshi.
No, it certainly doesn't. I'm sorry for being such a troublesome teacher. But when you were saying that you were going to get a job after graduating junior high school, you looked like you were about to cry. No matter what, you don't look like someone who'd give up on higher education voluntarily.
Even if this were the case, there's nothing you can do.
Well, how about you trust me on this and see what happens? Then you make your decision. Let's talk about it all over again. If you still wouldn't change your mind, I'll stay out of your way.
Okay.
Tomorrow is my day off. Hopefully you'll make some time for me.
The next day, I went to meet Miss Akiyoshi on her day off. I talked all about my family issues. I was wondering what to do if she also told me to be more considerate of my family, but there was no one else for me to turn to. I felt like this was my last hope. To my surprise, the advice from Miss Akiyoshi was one I didn't expect.
About what we talked about earlier. If you need help persuading your parents, I'm here for you. Don't be shy to ask.
Thank you very much. You're different, Miss Akiyoshi.
Am I?
To this day, I still didn't think that you'd suggest me to work at a company with a dorm and introduce me to night school that would allow me to attend school while working.
What did you think that I would say?
Something like, cherish your family or have a good conversation with them.
I couldn't say something like that after hearing your story. Everyone's family situation is different, and it's not something that I can comment on. I must keep a distance sometimes.
I've never thought that I'd be encouraged to leave home. This was so odd, but it made me so happy.
I could be in big trouble if the school finds out. Anyways, don't worry alone. I'm here whenever you need to talk.
So that was Miss Akiyoshi's suggestion, a plan that allowed me to leave home and go to school while working. I was full of hope after talking to her. I really felt that I could make it work. I thought it was impossible to convince my parents, but then I started to think that it might be possible if I started sending money home or something. However, my family overrode this thought easily as well. When I came home one day, my parents made me a ridiculous proposal. I was dying to escape from home. I was at a loss. So I contacted Miss Akiyoshi. Miss Akiyoshi, I don't know what to do.
What's wrong?
When I came home today, there was a man I'd never met before. He seemed to be an acquaintance of my father's.
What happened after?
He asked me to sell my body at the store that he owns.
Wait, your parents told you so?
Yes, I was scared, so I ran away.
You can't work at a store like that when you're under 18, even if you graduate.
I don't know much about these things, but this guy didn't seem like a decent person.
Okay, come to my place for now. I'm certainly going to do something about this.
I was somewhat dubious, but I went to Miss Akiyoshi's house. From here on, things started to take a bizarre turn. First, Miss Akiyoshi called Child Protection Services and reported my parents for sexually abusing me. I had an interview with the staff subsequently. Even the police got involved in this mess. With the help of Miss Akiyoshi's testimony, my parents were found to have abused me, so they were arrested. To be honest, I couldn't believe how easy it was. I was sheltered in a facility, and I was able to live there. I get to go to high school. I even felt much more comfortable now than ever. As for my stepsister, she didn't get into the facility. She was taken in by relatives on my father's side.
Seriously, what have you done to me?
I'm sorry, but I had no choice.
Do you have any idea what I'm going through because of you?
Is your life living with relatives so bad?
It's the worst. I need to share a room with my cousin and do all the cleaning myself. I even have to eat whatever food they make. Every time I complain, they would nag me. To top it off, they want me to take out a student loan myself to go to the college. This is abuse.
You'd consider that abuse? In a way, it's so sad.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, it's perfectly normal. You were so spoiled that you wouldn't even understand. The reason why you feel it's unfair is that you have a twisted mind.
Shut up! If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be like this. What have you done? How am I supposed to live?
I'm not the luckier one here. I can manage to get through high school, but I have no idea if I can go to university, even with a student loan. Yet I think this is much better than the life I had before. Do you know that you're the luckier one, even though your life has become more difficult than before? I can't believe you're not even aware of that. In a sense, you're probably the one who suffered the most from these two people.
What's with that attitude? You are just the housemaid. Don't you look down on me.
Don't contact me anymore then. I do feel a bit sorry for you, but I can't forget what you did to me.
Do something about it. Help me. We're sisters, aren't we?
There was never a time when you and I were sisters. Shiomi couldn't bear to live such a normal life at the relative's house. She acted selfishly over and over. The relatives couldn't stand her any longer, so they kicked her out right away when she graduated high school. She's been missing since then. Since she was so accustomed to having others do things for her, I don't think she would be able to adapt to society. She probably didn't have much good experience, too. Her parents were not sent to jail, but they became so deep in debt because they were pushing themselves to fulfill her selfishness. The two of them ended up running away one night.